In this video, I take on one of the most unique challenges I've ever had. This is how a run and drive Silverado turned into my worst nightmare. Stick around to the end of the video to see how an old school rebuilding trick pulled this whole thing back together. I bought this 2019 Chevy Silverado from Copart with just a little bit of burn damage. I was thinking at the time I could put a headlight and a grill and a bumper assembly, maybe a rad pack, and be a quick fix ready to go. But Copart tricked me. The hood would not open in the pictures. They did not show us anything. Check this out. It is a disaster. This thing had a complete engine fire. Everything is completely melted. Battery, fuse boxes, all the hoses and wiring completely gone. So we had brought it out here, put this thing to pasture. I was done with it. This is a parts truck, write it off. But my film crew, they had this great idea to do a short about it because, believe it or not, this truck actually runs and drives. So we've just been getting blown up from you guys and from you and from you and from you, all wanting to see a full-length video on this. So we're gonna resurrect this truck. We are gonna actually fix this thing, bring it back to life, do the impossible. You don't think we can do it? I'm gonna get it done. The only way this project is gonna work is if we find a donor truck. So what I need to do is go hit the phones, call around to my guys, see if we can find a good candidate. So we got really lucky on this one. My very first phone call was to my good friend Nick over at Reitman Auto Parts, and he has the exact same truck in a 2017 model. He just got it in 2 days ago, so it's not been picked apart yet. So let's get this thing loaded up, get it over there. All right, so here's the plan. Nick has got a spot set up for us over there right on the side of his building. He's gonna let us put our truck down on the ground. He's gonna bring his truck out, set it right next to it, and then Preston is gonna go through and piece by piece take every single thing that we need off of the front of that truck. And Caden here behind the camera, he's gonna go with them and get it all on film for you guys to watch. Preston's been a busy man yesterday stripping this truck down. He got the whole front end off of it. He got everything out of the engine bay, started stripping the wiring harnesses, and that's where he ran into a problem. All the harnesses have at least one or two connectors that are down up underneath the truck, and he couldn't get underneath it. So fortunately, our friends at Reitman were willing to let us bring the truck back here to our shop. So I'm gonna grab the forklift, we're gonna get it inside, get it on a lift, and Preston can finish getting those harnesses. Joe! All right, he's got it all rigged up, got the arms under it. We're gonna get it in the air so he can start doing his magic. Preston's been a busy little beaver. He's got all the parts off of here that we needed. Unfortunately, the wiring harnesses were different. So we ended up leaving the harnesses on the truck. No need to be getting the rest of the stuff off the bottom because it's not gonna match. So next thing we need to do is get it loaded up, get it back to Reitman's. All right, we got Two-Face back in the building. What a hassle. It first started up and we're starting to drive it in and then it died and we couldn't get it to restart. So why deal with trying to figure any of this thing out? Because he's getting ready to completely strip this thing down. So we have it in Billy's bay because he's gonna be the project man on this. He's got 2 weeks of work. Hell, I don't know, a week and a half. It's gonna be a big job, but we have got lots of parts for him. We got the front seat full of parts. The back seat is completely full of parts. We got our new engine wiring harness in from Tom Gill Chevrolet. That's gonna be a big job getting that on there. And then we got a bed full of parts. So let's watch and see how Billy does. So the parts are starting to pile up. Billy's been a busy man. He's about 6 hours into this. He's got the front bumper assembly off. He's got both the wheel liners out. He's got the core support assembly off. He's got the rad pack out of it. He's got the hood down here. So they're starting to pile up a little bit. Let's go take a look. Still tearing down, that's for sure. So he's got some wiring off. The compressor and alternator, those are no good. A fuse box. Wow, look at this, Billy. It's starting to resemble a vehicle once again. Of course, he's got everything completely off the front of the truck. Plan is to just strip it down to what's good and then start building it up from there, yeah? That transmission assembly survive?
Yeah, it look pretty good. I mean, there's one in the bag there, but this one look decent.
You're gonna need a shop vac. Go cleaning all this. Damn. Oh, this is wild. It's looking pretty good though, I gotta say. Is there a problem with the wire? Oh, this was just melted on the rest of it.
Yeah.
And that is in the same harness, or it's a different harness?
It's connected to the same beam.
So this one that goes back in the dash rack. Wow, that's gonna be a big job. Glad I'm not the one doing that.
This one is part of the engine.
That's what disconnects the one that goes in the cab.
Yeah.
But if that's all we need to do is just solder all those wires on there, then we don't want to take the dashboard out if we can just solder those. Where's that connected at? Let's take a look at that. God, we don't have much wire there though, do we? But that's going to be a hell of a lot easier than taking the dashboard out. All right, well, Billy's got his work cut out for him, that's for sure. I'm glad I'm not having to deal with it. All I do is buy them. They got to fix it. It is the next morning, and look what I got in my hand right here. Jerry at Reitman Auto Parts, she really hooked us up. We got this upper intake within less than 24 hours. Billy's already got the old one off, so now we can get this one back on, start putting it back together. All right, so I just snuck over here to see what Billy was doing, and oh my gosh, this thing has gone through a transformation. I only missed like half a day. You've got the core support in here, you got the radiator, condenser, the fan assembly. You've already put back on the upper intake, the new upper intake. Looks like you got the coolant overflow jug in, and you got some hoses hooked up there. You got the new brake fluid reservoir, and it's got fluid in it. What else have you got going on here?
I think you ordered these the heater hose.
Heater core hoses, okay.
Well, I need the one more belt.
We can't reuse the belt?
Oh, it was broken and
burned up.
Yeah,
burned up. He calls it broken. He's just being nice. All right, so we need to order a belt and we need to order some heater core hoses. All right, so as you can see, Project Two Face is well underway. It continues. Let's see how he does. All right, Billy's working away on it, but a quick update for you. We realized we don't have the front bumper assembly or the left headlight assembly, so I had to get those ordered. We do have a bunch of wiring repairs we gotta do. We've got a sensor down here that was cut that we've gotta get fixed. We've got a wire here that was melted off the end, so we're gonna have to put an extension to connect these two, get that soldered in there. We've got one here that's cut we gotta deal with. We got a big problem over here. The entire harness going back into the dash was damaged, so we've gotta go through and solder about 25 wires there. And then down here in this driver's wheel well, we've got a last one, which has got another dozen wires or so going to the front harness that feeds the lower core support area. So a bunch of wiring repairs we got to get done while we're waiting on those parts. This thing is coming along. We have made a lot of progress here lately. The bed of this truck was full of parts before, and now we're down to a grill that was the wrong color from our donor truck from Reitman, and we've got one box left that has the lower valence for the front bumper that we can't put on yet, and I'll show you why here in a second. And the back seat, look at this thing. It's a seat now, it's not full of parts. So, the problem is the lower section of the front bumper is wrong. We got the chrome section here, and Billy got that put on and got it all connected up and working, but the bottom section is this textured plastic, and the one we got aftermarket just isn't the right one. So we got one coming from Tom Gill Chevrolet. That'll be the right one. We've already got the valence piece in the bed of the truck that goes across the bottom of it. So we'll have this wrapped up pretty quick. And we've got this thing put together. Joe got the wiring done on this headlight. We got that back in there and working. And look at this engine bay. This is actually an engine now. All the melted plastic that was over here has been replaced. Our upper plenums are replaced. Our intake's been replaced. The melted fuse box has been done. Joe, God forbid, he had like half a day into wiring all of this wiring back together, getting that all soldered in there and fixed, as well as fixing the wiring down here in the wheel well. But everything's together, it's looking good. For all you doubters out there, oh yeah, purrs like a kitten. What the hell? It's not going anywhere. It's not going forward either. What the hell? Billy! This thing ain't going anywhere!
I didn't do it.
What do you think the issue was?
Fluid was low.
Oh, his fluid was low. Okay, that makes sense.
So we figured out the problem. When we had that radiator out of there, it had pumped all the tranny fluid out of this thing. It was 7 quarts low on tranny fluid. So now we're gonna do take 2. Just to prove all you naysayers. Oh, it actually engaged. All right, so we had it in here before, and little Joe got the rest of the bumper put together. He got that lower section installed because we got the right one, and then he got the little valance on the bottom of it. I've brought it back in now, though, because we have a check engine light that we need to diag and figure out, and it's stuck in 4-wheel drive all the time. No matter what you do with the switch, it doesn't take it out of 4-wheel drive. And then Joe needs to spend a little bit more time tidying up his previous wiring repairs. So let's see what we find. So while we're waiting for Joe to get around to doing what he needs to get done, I've gone ahead and pulled the Silverado in the body shop. Let me show you what we got to get done. So two-face really isn't that bad considering how much fire damage it had. We got the hood off of that donor truck from Reitman, and it's already fine. Of course, it's the wrong color, so it's got to get painted. This fender over here does have a little bit of damage on it. I'm not sure what that's from, so we're gonna have to get that fixed, which means we're painting into this fender. And the other fender's actually got some fire damage right here on the front edge of the fender, and a pretty big mystery dent about 6 inches back. So unless John gets all with me, all we're doing is the hood, blending the top of these fenders. We'll have her done. Why are you there shaking your head?
There's that rear bed. It's pretty deep.
It's always the butt that you gotta look out for. All right, show me the butt. Yeah, you got a little bit on this bedside here, but then you're painting the whole damn bedside. This is through the paint?
Yeah.
We take half the lights out of here and we won't have half the problems. All right, so we gotta do a front clip and a bedside. The other side's fine, I take it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a 2-day job, it's now a 4-day job.
But then there's the weekend.
Ah, see, I like the way he thinks. It's only Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. By the time we're going to church on Sunday, we'll be in a shiny new truck. We got her back from the body shop and they did a good job. She is looking good, except, yeah, it is covered in dust from over there. I don't know what they were doing, but they really did a nice job. It ended up being a bigger job than I'd really hoped because we had both fenders involved and the hood, which meant we were painting the entire front clip. You're clear coating all the way back to the doors and even into the doors a little bit. So they had to tape the whole front off. There were some dents along the hood that had to get filled and the nose had to get in primer. Then we had to mask off the whole truck before we could paint the color and the clear. Day and a half later, they got it done. It's back over here to the mechanical side because we've got a couple things we need to wrap up on it. It's missing some lug nuts, which we've got right here from taking the locking lug nuts off. So we got to get those installed. The 4-wheel drive switch was broken out of the dash. It's the whole middle section of it's gone, and the thing's been stuck in 4-wheel drive. So we need to get this switch installed. Hopefully that fixes our 4-wheel drive issue. And then the dipstick. This is the transmission dipstick. It's like melted. So we can't sell it like that. We need to get a nice clean one in there. And then finally, the wiring Joe did is finished, but we need to get it cleaned up. He did the functional part of it. We now need to get it shrink wrapped up and looking good. So roll the film. All right, Joe got me hooked up. He got our new transmission dipstick in there to replace this wannabe has-been dipstick. He got our wires all cleaned up and secured, so that's good. He also got our 4-wheel drive switch in there, so it's finally time for me to take Two-Face out on the interstate and work on that punch list. Hopefully, I don't find much. Caden, keep your phone on in case I get stranded.
You get all the parts?
I made it back. No surprises. The truck runs great. These guys did a good job getting her fixed up. Checked all the door locks, checked the windows, checked the seats, the AM FM radio. There's no error messages in the cluster. The truck runs good. The only thing I noticed is the steering wheel is slightly out of level. So I'm gonna run it over to NRP Tire here real quick, get an alignment done on it, and then we'll let Legendary Auto Club shine it up for us. Then you and I, we're gonna break out the dry erase board and take a look at the numbers on this thing and see if this massive project actually makes any sense for the old pocketbook. let's break it down and see what this thing looks like on our 2019 Chevy Silverado 4x4. By the time I paid all of Copart's fees, I got $6,679 into the truck, and I spent another $800 shipping it down here from Little Rhodey. Our parts and labor just added up on this thing, and they added up quick. Over here on the mechanical side, we had about $2,300 in labor, which actually wasn't that bad, but the parts, oh my gosh, did the parts add up. $5,470. And that's only that low because our friends over at Reitman did us really good on that parts truck. $1,900 for all the parts we took off of that. That was very helpful. It was all the individual parts that we had to piecemeal together that just added up and added up. Over on the body shop side, it wasn't bad at all. They had about a day and a half into it at $450. They had a couple $100 in materials painting the front clip on the thing. And our friends over at Legendary Auto Club got her shined up for us for $250. Which brings my total into the truck at $16,147, which is a lot more than I had anticipated having into this thing, but at the same time, it's not bad at all considering what that truck looked like once it got here. The upside is because of the low miles on it at 30,000 miles, this truck it still books out at $27,355. But the problem is 97 days on market. That means I'm only going to be able to put it out there at 75% of retail. So we'll be asking $20,495 for the truck, and if I can get $20,147, that'll mean we clear $4,000 on it. That's not bad. It's not a loss, which this truck could have easily turned into. It does almost cover our weekly allocation, so that's not bad, but it did tie up one of our lifts on and off for over a month, and it used a lot of our labor, a lot of skilled labor that we could have been using on other projects. However, it did make for a really cool video. I'm glad you got to enjoy it. Thanks for watching to the end. I'm Matt Ryan, and this was another episode of Northern Kentucky Auto.